Mike King is in the business. Mike King is in the business. Mike King is in the business. Mike King is in the business, man.
Mike King says,
all I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make them stay there.
The champ is here! The champ is here! The champ is here!
Mike King is ESPN Richmond, the champ of Business Talk Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back on the Mike. We are the best business radio program around. This is part of the Mike King Biz Radio Network, which is ESPN Richmond 106.1, 5 to 7 a.m. every day. Well, Monday to Friday. The Choice 105.3, that is gospel, so we're touching your soul there. Every day from 2 to 3, that's 105.3, as well as International Business Growth Radio. That's where you find us Saturdays at 10 a.m. We're taking our talents to a global scale. That's what we do. We showcase the best and the brightest. This program uplifts the community and showcases RVA in a different way. We talk to the game changers who are out there. We're talking to people who make a difference. Right now, coming to the program, he's new to the program right here, my man Kelvin Oliver. So I got to give him the build-up. One, he owns a mortgage company. He is a basketball referee. He is a sponsor of Women Speaking Sports. He's also an alum of the show. They had him on. He broke the gender barrier there. They let him sit down, but you had to get qualified first. They vetted you.
Absolutely.
They vetted you. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. So this is a business show where I always start off. Let's get to Kelvin Oliver 30-second elevator pitch.
So basically, Mike, we are Core Mortgage located here in Chesterfield, Virginia. I've been in the business myself for a little over 20 years. We do residential mortgages, primarily focusing on the states of Virginia and Maryland, also the District of Columbia, and we also we dab in commercial loans as well.
How'd you get into the mortgage business?
By mistake.
Okay.
I think everybody, my peers, we all kind of fell into the business. So after high school, I attended Hampton University, was there, actually got a degree in computer science. But while I was in college, I actually worked at a collection agency. And so we had a small computer department. And so we had a lady who went out on maternity leave and they put me in the department. And it was probably the most boring experience I ever had. And I was in there and I was resetting passwords and doing Excel spreadsheets. And we were in an office with no windows. And I realized this was not my vision of computer science, and it's not what I wanted to do. After college, I ended up getting a job working in collections for a finance company. But one of the things that company did was mortgage loans. And so it was an all-day ordeal. We had typewriters printing out the documents on carbon paper, but I'm young and dumb at the time. I thought it was fascinating. And lo and behold, maybe 3 months later, I did my first mortgage loan, and the rest is history.
Been in the business ever since then. So for a person who's thinking about getting into the business now, what advice would you give them?
What I would tell them is to reach out to any mortgage professional that they may know. If they don't know anyone, usually everybody knows at least one realtor, and that realtor will know some mortgage individuals. My recommendation is to reach out to them and see if they may not let you come in and just sit with them so that you can get an idea of what it is we do on a day-to-day basis. I myself have done that with at least 10 individuals who have at least had some thought of getting into the business. And I think that's step one.
Do most brokers handle commercial and residential, or do people kind of specialize in one and the other?
Most people specialize in one or the other. I would say the overwhelming majority of your brokers are going to specialize on the residential side, but you do have some, such as myself, that will do both. And then there are some that will strictly do commercial only.
Why is that? Is there?
Well, I think certainly there is the potential for more money on the commercial side, but those deals typically take longer They're more specialized, they're more intricate. And also on the commercial side, you don't have the same licensing requirements that you do on the residential side. So there are just a number of differences.
Okay, so that is the mortgage broker hat.
Yes.
You're also a referee, a basketball referee. Let's talk about how you came to, and you've had some experiences. You told us that no matter what call you make, half the gym is going to be upset.
That is absolutely correct. So I have just been a basketball nut my entire life. And so I had the opportunity to play in high school here locally. Ironically, I actually got a call from
you know what? You got a million stories.
I do. Oh, I got stories for days. Trust me. So my high school coach ironically called me yesterday, and he lives down in South Carolina now, and was telling me that he was going to be in the area in June. And so, gosh, we talked for over an hour yesterday, but I probably partially blame him for me becoming a referee. Number one, I can remember in high school, we had a center on our team who was about 6'7". At the time, I was about 5'9", 140 pounds. And my coach looks at me one day and he says, "Hey, I know you're better than him, but look, he's 6'7", you're 5'9". I can teach him how to be better. I can't teach you how to be taller." And so I knew that my future was not in basketball, number one, because I wasn't very tall. Number two, I really couldn't shoot. So that's not a good combination, right? But I still have a passion for the game. I have no desire to coach. I think that's one of the hardest jobs that you could ever have. So refereeing is it. So it helps to keep me involved in the game, also helps to keep me in shape to a certain degree.
And what levels would people see you refereeing a game?
Oh my gosh, you can see me from anywhere to a recreation league game, to a middle school game, to high school, and even small college up to Division II.
Alrighty, so when we've had you on before, when you were on with Women Speaking Sports, you talked about referees managing temperaments, managing people. So you had said, so if you are not going to try and control a whole team, your idea is, let me go talk to one guy and he will manage those guys. I'll have a relationship with him. Touch on that, because one of the things, that's people's skills right there. And a lot of times people don't see, they see the referee. I guess the most famous ones were baseball umpires. Right. The coach, the manager, he's going to get tossed, but he's going to get his money's worth.
Oh, yeah.
And so, it's entertaining for people, but clearly not for the umpire or the referee.
Yeah, one of the things that I've learned, and this isn't something that I, of course, invented. I picked it up from other veteran officials, but usually you can identify the leader of the team in the layup line. And just from talking to other referees, doing some homework by watching film, because everything's on the internet now, right? Even high school games. So the leader of the team isn't necessarily the best player. Now, a lot of times they are the leader and the best player, but if you can get to the leader, they will be your helper in most cases. So when they're in the layup line, you identify the leader of the team and you try to develop some sort of rapport with them. Hey, number 24, man, I saw last week you scored 26 against that team. Man, I'm not sure anybody can stop you. So now I've got a little bit of a rapport. I'm not lying. I'm giving them factual information.
He lit him up.
Yeah, he lit him up, and he's feeling pretty good about himself. And so the next thing is, hey, if I need some help tonight, can I come to you and get some help? It may happen, but I've never had a player be like, "Nah, you just complimented me and I'm not going to help you." And I'm telling you, it will help you down the road. So if you get in a situation where maybe your partner hasn't called the greatest call in the world, maybe you haven't made the greatest call in the world, you've at least developed some rapport with him so that he may be able to get somebody in line. I've even had cases where the player will help to keep the coach in check. And so I found that to be a valuable tool. And also the communication in basketball helps me tremendously in my day-to-day business life as well.
Kelvin Oliver is here with us. He is Core Mortgage, one of the sponsors of Women Speaking Sports. That is the women's sports. It's a sports program with the dynamic women that's taking Richmond by storm. That's Steph B, Dr. Danny, Danielle Fitzhugh, Steph B, I said, Lisa Trani, Carrie Roth, as well as Star Mallory. Carrie Roth is going to run the Boston Marathon. So kudos and shout out to her with that. So like I said, being from Philadelphia, you know how I am. We can be champions of pettiness. We can. the idea when the Cowboys game was over and they were still arguing and the referees ran off the field, it was a beautiful thing because they were just standing there. And let's talk about that. When you see all mayhem is going, breaking loose, and you see the referees just run off. Explain that move to the listeners.
Well, I can talk from a basketball perspective, and I'm sure it's true of football and other sports as well. When the game is over, you need to get out of Dodge. So if you think about it, nothing good.
Who's happy there with you at that point? Nobody.
Right. Yeah. There's nothing good that can happen as a referee from you sticking around. Nothing. Get out of Dodge, just get out of harm's way and exit stage left. So I understand, and I'm in total agreement with what they did.
So your deal is the horn blows, you guys start running.
Yep. I'm looking back, and I'm only looking back for my partners. I just need to make sure that they're getting off safely with me. After that, hey, exit stage left.
And okay, so when the referees leave, what happens then?
So in basketball, when we go back to the locker room, we're typically going to have a post game, right? So we may talk about plays, and as you go up in levels, your post games are usually more extensive. So in a high school game, you may talk about, hey, that block charge play that we had in the second quarter, what'd you think? Did you have a good look at it? That sort of thing. In the college game, because we have a shot clock, we're a lot more cognizant of the clock. So in a college post game, it may be, hey, at 7:34 in the second half, what'd you have on that shot clock violation? Did you get a good look? Those sorts of things. And just, it gives you a chance to decompress, think about certain things, because now once you leave the locker room, the game is over, right? And so now it's on to the next game, on to the next thing that you have to do. But you do need to have that post game just to talk about things to make you better for your next game, whenever that may be.
Mike is here. Kelvin Oliver is here. Core Mortgage. How can people find you out there?
So Core Mortgage, office number is 804-521-2673. We are on the World Wide Web, coremortgage.com, and that's Kore. We are on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and LinkedIn. And shortly, I'm trying to figure this TikTok thing out. So we're coming soon.
You look like you could do the TikTok stuff. You look like you got some moves in you with the TikTok dance crazes.
Man, don't let my wife hear that, because she might disagree with you, but I appreciate the compliment nonetheless.
I hear you. You don't get that support there. Okay. So on the mic with Mike, Kelvin is here with us. We got to take a break. We'll be back in just a moment.
Yes, 6 hours with Mike, and had a fabulous time. Make sure you tune in every week.
Hey, RBA, this is the Tam. You know another guy named Mike? Make sure you check out my main man, Mike King Biz. Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 a.m. on Sports 106.1. On the mic, with Mike, is the champion of business talk radio. You're starting to irritate me.
On the mic with Mike, ESPN Richmond. That's where we like to thank the champ for that ringing endorsement. He's just a guy named Mike, like this guy named Mike. But we have Kelvin Oliver, and he is a sponsor of Women Speaking Sports. Welcome back, sir.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me, Mike.
The day gig is Core Mortgage. How can people find you out there?
Core Mortgage, you can reach us at 804-521-2673. We're on the worldwide at www.coremortgage. That's Kore mortgage.com. We're also on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and soon to come TikTok.
He's going to be busting it out. I'm going to be watching, trying to take some notes. I got to heal up first with this Achilles tendon first before I start busting the move. All righty. So, ladies and gentlemen, I came up with the idea of Women Speaking Sports. It is a runaway hit. One day, we were short one of the stars of the program, and I had a great idea. Mr. Kelvin Oliver said, and he had to be vetted by the women on the panel. So he broke the gender barrier. Let's talk about that process, sir. What is it about that program and the shenanigans that happened down at the Hilton on Wednesday night?
Well, I think what you're going to find is what I deem to be an eclectic group of women who have come.
That's a Hampton word.
Who have come together. The number one thing is the synergy that they have, the camaraderie, but they know their stuff.
They do.
Right. So they're talking sports, they're talking a little stuff. I mean, it's just entertaining. I love it. So it is definitely, I look forward to that on my calendar every Wednesday down at the Hilton.
And everybody has their lane. So we have Steph B is Giants and business.
Right.
Lisa Trani, the happiest, most lovable Cowboy fan in history, which I didn't think that was possible.
Yeah, but she manages to pull it off.
She does pull it off. Steph B, Giants, business. Dr. Danny.
Woo.
Exactly.
Dr. Danny is a firecracker.
And that is for sure. Pittsburgh Steelers fan, A&T fan as well. Always talking about the business side of it.
That's right.
It's about the money. As she would say, follow the money.
Yep. So she's a fervent fan of her teams and will let you know very, very quickly what she's not a fan of as well.
That is true. And it sort of falls back on Pittsburgh Steelers and Mike Tomlin. And all that. We're going to go. Carrie Roth is all things Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
All things Tom Brady.
Yes, I totally agree.
She is a Tom Brady homer. All right. Okay. So we got Lisa Star Mallory.
Right.
Star Mallory. She's the quarterback of the team. She holds it together. Pittsburgh Steeler fan through and through. She said she was born a Steeler fan. Okay, but now she's gotten on this Joe Burrow routine.
Yeah, I haven't quite figured that out, but yeah, Joe's her guy.
Joe is her guy, and Ben was her guy too. But he stepped off. I guess he was on a fantasy team, and she's kind of been rolling with Joe Burrow. But what you get with women speaking sports is those women knowing sports and giving their insight on the business side. It's a great time. Stop down to the Hilton on Wednesday. They're there from 6 to 7. I'm there from 5 to 7. So on the mic with Mike, Kelvin Oliver is here. I'd like to thank you for being a sponsor of Women Speaking Sports, and we'll talk to you soon.
Hi, this is Sylvia Farr.